Tonight on Animal House, a dangerous dog threatens an SPCA inspector.
Never been bitten, touch wood.
There's a race to save an injured swan.
Oh, that's well broken.
And a shocking case of animal obesity.
More than double the average cat weight. It's huge.
At the end of a quiet cul-de-sac, an old car has become home to an aggressive dog. So Inspector John Hedemeier has arrived to uplift it.
Okay, could be quite difficult. The dog's got a long, extended chain, so he's able to jump out of this window, so I've got to be cautious as to how I'm going to approach it. I'll do a knock in this house and see if they know who owns this car and the dog before I remove it. Hello.
Hi.
I'm John from Walking SPCA. I'm just here about the dog locked in the car.
Yeah, somebody's out there.
Do you know who owns the car?
No, we just saw somebody dump it there and that was it.
Oh, okay. When was that? How many
About a
days
week ago.
About a week ago? And their dog's been locked in the car for a week?
I'm not quite sure because I'm not home during the day. Yeah.
Okay, no problems. In that case, I'll just take the dog.
Ciao, 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 honey.
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Never been bitten, touch wood. That's okay. Whoa, it's steady on, boy. Just a bit frightened. With these types of jobs, you just have to think safety first. Dogs tend to pick up on your fear. So if you're fearful, the dogs will react to that. But if you show confidence, they tend to back down and know not to mess with you. Come on.
The dog might be secured, but it's only the end of stage one. The next challenge will be getting them out of the car.
Hey, Monster.
Meanwhile, Inspector Sue Bourdet has returned to the SPCA headquarters with a heavy load.
Heave-ho. I've just picked up this extraordinarily fat cat from Green Bay Vet Clinic. The owner, a lady, dropped him into the vet clinic saying that she'd been feeding him for a number of years and couldn't feed him any longer. However, looking at this cat, I'm wondering if maybe several people were feeding this cat. This is probably the biggest cat I've ever seen. He's very, very heavy. Apparently, the old lady that took him into Green Bay Vets calls him Sumo, which is very appropriate. Hello. He's quite cuddly, actually. He's actually a pretty nice cat, aren't you, sweetie?
But the first step is a vet check.
Wow. Never seen anything like it. Right. Let's have a look at it now. But it probably isn't easy for this cat to clean itself being so big. Yeah, he's a bit touchy back here. Probably got mats somewhere, I wouldn't be surprised. It's full of flea dirts and dandruff and matted hair because he just wouldn't be able to actually get round there to groom himself successfully because of his size. He's obese, there's no doubt about that. Right, well, let's weigh him. He's 10.59 kilos. The average cat's 4 to 5, so he's at least more than double the average cat weight. It's huge. People sort of known for quite a long time about dogs and they watch their weight now. Sort of cats have been a little bit forgotten, but just as important for them.
It will be necessary to do blood checks and an X-ray of Sumo to see if his weight has created any long-lasting problems. Back in South Auckland, John is still struggling to uplift an aggressive dog.
Every dog's dangerous. All dogs have the potential to bite. This dog's no different from any other dog you would approach. You never approach a dog for the first time without any dog handling equipment. He's obviously a loved pet because he's in good condition. He's a nice, healthy boy. Unfortunately, these types of dogs, because of the aggressiveness of them, in this case, it may not be a candidate for rehoming, but it'll go through the assessments and do it stray time. I'm hoping that the owner will, or someone that knows who owns this dog, claim the dog back. It's either that or the dog get euthanized. Over time, you tend to take pity on these animals, knowing the outcome for this type of dog. He'll calm down. I'll take him home tonight, feed him up.
John leaves a note reporting the uplift with the hope the owner might get in touch. It's the end of the day when Inspector Kevin Plowright arrives at a South Auckland park.
I've just had a call about a swan with a broken wing. I think for a clean, I might see if I can lure them up to the side of the pond there, and if I'm quick enough with the net, might be able to swoop them up.
The family have made their nest on the island, so Kevin's come prepared. But the swan's not taking the bait.
Well, plan A's failed. The swans have obviously had a feed this evening and not interested in a bit more bread. So unfortunately it's plan B, which is wade across the water. We'll see how we get on. Hopefully there's no taniwha lives in there, and I'll make it to the other side. That's a negative for plan B. My pole completely disappeared, so yeah, no, forget it. We'll make that the boat tomorrow.
Back at the SPCA, Sumo has needed twice the amount of anaesthetic any normal-sized cat would need. But while tests are being done, it's a chance to give him a clean-up.
Just got the blood results back for Sumo, and they're actually really good. They basically rule out any cause of obesity other than eating too much.
So Sumo will be put on a diet, and if all goes well, he can be adopted out. Coming up, the dangerous dog loses his bite.
It's a different dog now, he's in a different environment.
And the condition of the obese cat deteriorates.
He hasn't been eating because he's actually quite frightened.
At the South Auckland Park, Kevin's back to catch the injured swan, this time with backup from Inspector Vicky Border. The bird's been tempted. It's looking hopeful. Operation Swan Rescue attracts a small crowd of onlookers. So it's on to Plan C.
I'm going to row, and Vicky's going to try luck with the net. That's it, we're away.
The injured swan has returned to his nest on the island, but as soon as he spies the boat, he's off into the bush. So Vicky is offloaded onto the island, only to see the swan escaping back onto the water. So now it's up to Kevin to give chase. But that's not working either. The swan's injuries don't slow it down, and the inspectors are outmanoeuvred.
No point, we'll call that one quits. Well, that's round 2 to the swan. I think we'll have to try again tomorrow. I think we'll stick to the edge of the pond with a bit of bait and the net. That was seemed to be the most successful, so we'll try that one again.
In the SPCA cattery, Sumo the fat cat has gone on a hunger strike.
He's lost 300 grams while he's been here already. He hasn't been eating because he's actually quite frightened. He's not very happy being here. Obviously, he's just in a cage all day. He's used to probably being at home on the couch, getting fed little tidbits all the time. The
decision is made to send Sumo out to foster, where the home environment should cheer him up and he can start a proper diet. Outside, Inspector John Hedemeier is arriving with a dog he found living in a car.
We've got some good news. The owner's made contact within 24 hours of us leaving the notice on the car. She's coming in to collect him today, which is good. I'll have a word with her when she gets in about keeping the dog locked in the car. I kept him overnight. He's settled down, so I'll just pop him in a cage now and give him something to eat this morning.
Since spending the night at John's place, the fierce dog has become a friendly dog.
A bit frightened. He was a bit frightened at first. There's a lot of strange smells. Different territory, so he'll settle down. These dogs can be aggressive. In the wrong hands, they can be trained to be killers. And having said that, in the right environment, they can become plastic dogs. He's a different dog now. He's in a different environment. When he was in his car, he was protecting his car. That was his space, which is a normal behaviour for a dog to exhibit. At this point, the dog's okay to go home on the condition that she provides proof of ownership, which is registration.
Well, we're back here at the park again on day 3. I bought the serious net, the serious bread, and we're all geared up, and hopefully we're going to get our swan today.
There's no doubt the swan needs urgent medical attention, so hopefully third time lucky.
I'm just going to try and gain its confidence with the bread. Hello. Hello. She recognises you, Kevin. There you go. Come on.
It's really got its eye on me big time, and sneaking in for a little bit of bread, but I just need it to think that I'm not going to do anything and then have a go at it. It's not going to be easy.
Come on. Yes, beautiful.
I've got the baby in there too.
Yeah,
I'll have
get
to
the baby out. Oh, the baby's out, baby's out.
You got that towel, Vicky, and I'll just drop it over his head. That's all right, bud. Come here. Lucky, oh, that's well broken. It's very serious. I'm going to take it into Linfield Vets.
Swans mate for life, so if this one survives, the SPCA will try and get the family back together.
It's not too happy, but I'm sure he'll thank me later.
Sumo has arrived at his new foster home, where foster mum Jo will be watching his diet carefully.
I've been told that the ideal weight loss is about 1/4 of a kilogram a week, because too fast is not good. He gets 1/4 of a cup of biscuit every morning and every night. I have to weigh him once a week and exercise. So I suppose it's just like with us. Because he's so big, he can't clean himself, so give him a brush, keep him clean, and lots of cuddles, help him settle in. Apparently he's not so keen on the biscuits.
An added problem is that Sumo has caught cat flu, which means he'll have to be medicated daily.
A challenge, I suppose. It'll be interesting to see how he goes. It's my first time actually having a cat that I have to monitor his weight and actually achieve a goal. So it should be fun. And he seems like a really neat, friendly cat, so it's going to be a bonus.
While Sumo settles into his new foster home, a stray cat is being checked into the SPCA. A slim, trim Sumo lookalike with a badly injured leg.
Fractured his humerus elbow completely.
Vet Jeff Talbot plans to amputate the broken leg. But before the cat, now known as Slimbo, can be operated on, Jeff needs to make sure he'll be able to manage on 3 legs.
Cats take 1/3 of their body weight on each front leg. So this front leg is now going to have to take quite a bit more of the weight. So we need to make sure that there's been no injury. But he's just got a lovely temperament. People love 3-legged cats. Make great pets.
As well as taking x-rays, Jeff needs to establish Slimbo is clear of feline AIDS.
It's very common, especially in the stray cat population, amongst male cats that like to fight a lot. Just like human AIDS, when cats get feline AIDS, they don't get better from it, so it attacks their immune system. This cat doesn't have feline AIDS, so it's a good result for the cat, and we can go ahead and get the surgery done.
Coming up, the vet check delivers bad news for the injured swan.
Yes. It's gangrene.
And the aggro dog is out of control. In the SPCA doggery, the fierce dog John uplifted from an old car is waiting for his owner.
It's good that you registered the dog, so we can put an ownership to the dog. When you can take the dog now, I'm going to forbid you from keeping your dog in the car or any car. So if I find your dog in the car again, like in the same situation, you won't get him back.
It won't happen again.
So do you walk him?
My partner.
He's quite a lot of strength behind him, eh?
Yes.
I suggest when you walk him, you need a choke chain.
Yep.
There's a lot of power behind that.
Yep. We'll be staying with her.
So I've explained the conditions of his return, which is a kennel, and make sure he's secured and he's exercised at least once a day.
I've had him for 4 years. He's my life. I don't have kids, so he's my kid. We went down to a funeral, left him with family, and unfortunately he got away from them and took off to my partner's days to the house down in Papakura. Got there and the people who found him left him in the car. Our friends put him in the car. When I found out that he was gone, I just bawled my eyes out. I cried. And it really did, it broke my heart.
You're going to be all right to get him in the van?
Yeah, definitely. He loves cars.
Yes or no?
Sit down. Sit down. Down.
It's good the dog is going home, but John will check to make sure the SPCA requirements are followed. At the clinic, the injured swan is being examined.
This lower half of the wing is devoid of blood supply, it's got broken bones, the muscles are all torn, so the whole lower half of the wing is swollen and infected, and it's gangrene basically, just as in humans, gangrene eventually is lethal. It's amazing when you see birds that appear to be behaving normally and yet we see injuries that have to be overwhelmingly painful. It's amazing that they continue to function at all. There's no doubt that they feel pain the same way that humans do. They have the same nerves, the same brain messages that tell them that there's something hurting, and this would have to be an absolute agony to have a break like this. So the only hope for the bird is to lose that wing. Birds do remarkably well with one wing if they're cared for and fed, and they're not relying on flight to escape predators and things like that.
So the decision is made to amputate. After 2 weeks at his foster home, Sumo has returned to the SPCA.
Sumo's come back from foster home because he isn't able to be medicated. Oh baby, it's right. He's also got little ulcerations on his, on his nose there from rubbing. His claws come out, I'm trying to rub all that discharge away. And he's a little bit subdued. He hasn't eaten for a week or so. He is losing weight, but he's losing it at a fast rate, which we're not really happy with. I think he misses his owner really badly. He's just not settling into a place where he's not at home. This is not his home, and he knows that. So he stopped eating in sort of like protest.
The SPCA will do what they can to help Sumo get better, but his physical and mental state is very worrying. However, better news for Slimbo. His leg was successfully amputated and he's been recuperating with a foster family. Today he's returned to the SPCA to get the staples removed from his wound.
How's she getting on?
He's doing fantastically, actually. He's very active for a three-legged cat.
Has he pulled a couple of these staples out himself, or
Yes.
No, that's great.
Well, he doesn't seem to notice that he's had a leg amputated. He's very active. He climbs up, he steals chicken off the bench. He gets around the house quite well. The only time I've seen any signs of him noticing is when he's using the kitty litter box and he goes to bury things and one leg buries and the other leg's not doing its job. Aside from that, nothing slows him down.
Slimbo will now go up for adoption. The other amputee, the swan, survived his operation, and today Kevin's taking him to a sanctuary run by Mandy Robertson of SPCA Birdwing.
You've got a swan for me?
I have, he's in the back here.
I'm not going to put him on a pond straight away. I want to see how he gets his footing just at the hospital paddock. Once I'm happy with that, I'll take him down to the pond.
Excellent.
As swans mate for life, a decision has to be made whether or not to uplift the swan's partner and cygnet and reunite the family. So Kevin returns to the South Auckland Park.
Well, we're back here with the swan, the mum and the cygnet, and she's happy being a solo mum. The other mate is recuperating at a pond. She may find another mate, so we're going to leave them be.
After 2 weeks in the cat isolation ward, Sumo still refuses to eat, so his physical condition has deteriorated.
He's a morbidly obese cat, as we know, that has actually lost weight in here, but that's due to the fact he hasn't eaten anything, which is not good for him at all, and that fat is actually mobilising, it's going around his bloodstream, and he's got a fatty liver, as well as having snuffles and quite stressed and grieving, and has not eaten for some time despite many attempts with a multitude of different food and medications. We've had a discussion with the owner. It's been decided on humane grounds that it would be kindest to put him to sleep. So we'll be giving him an injection. He'll go very peacefully off to sleep.
The sad outcome for Sumo is tempered by the very happy outcome for Slimbo, the amputee. He went back to the SPCA to go up for adoption, but not for long.
I had done my time with him. Reluctantly, I took him back to the SPCA, and they rang me the next day to say they had kittens for me. So I went out to pick the kittens up and thought I'd go into the cattery and just check on him. And he was very happy to see me and, you know, doing the big, why am I here and why aren't I at home lying in the sun? So here we are now with one very at-home cat. I think he thought he was just on 2 days holiday at the SPCA, now he's home again. I couldn't leave him there. He's just such a lovely cat and very snuggly, very friendly with the dogs, just everybody loves him, so home he came.